Hey, assistant coach, how are you guys doing? It's me, Johnny Sports, and welcome back to the Sprint to Glory. Yes, you guys have been asking for it. The first episode has gotten over 4,500 likes. It would be also much appreciated if you guys could smash that like button on this one, in which we go into a journey throughout Italy's Serie B and then getting into Serie A with the team Cagliari. You can see the rules on your screen right now. We are only making transfers from the same nation, same league, or free agents. And this time, obviously, it's Italy, Serie A or Serie B, and the free agents. And we're only buying players who are at the age of 24 at the start of the first season. So no one that is too old, no established players really. We are only trying to get in talents and create an amazing team that can compete for the league title, the League Cup, and also maybe for the Champions League. Let's start off by showing you this team. Cagliari is a team that really has some great players in there, especially some ultimate team legends. Marco Sau in the striking position, 74 rated midget, so to say. He's not really the tallest player, but that's something I love about him. His agility was actually insane. And we also have Ibarbo in this squad, and he will be coming back from his loan. But as you can see in this team, we already have a couple of decent players. I mean, it's enough for the Serie B to get into Serie A in the first season already without even making any transfers, but it's also really important to get these loaned out players back into our squad to be able to create a better team. And I will show you right now which players I've gotten back in the first transfer window from their loans. And we only had around 5.7 million in the transfer budget. So that means we are not really able to make any big transfers straight away. With Red Bull Leipzig, I think I had like 8 million and I could buy in a couple of really good players in the first season. But in this one, I just focused on getting the loaned out players back into our squad. It was Ibarbo coming back, Astori coming back, and also Cragno, who is a goalkeeping talent, will be coming back. But most importantly, Donza. That guy is actually a really good talent for the center midfield position, and he would be playing in my starting 11 together with Asane Gnokuri. In the first season, I only had to pay 1.5 million for this guy. He joined my team and he grew like insane. Seriously, this guy is such a big talent. Together with Donza, it's the perfect pairing. Both of them can defend, both of them can attack, so it's actually really good to have those two in that position. And this guy starts off at the age of 18. And let's move on into the next transfer, which was for the center back position, because our story is 78 rated and he still grows on to be like an 80 rated center back, even though he's one of the older center backs. But I still needed someone who can grow and who is considered a talent to join this team, and his name was Gaston Silva. I bought him from Torino, I think, and you could see his price right before I accepted it. This guy seems to be a really good player because he has 77 slide tackle, 73 stand tackle, I believe, and he's only 73 rated. Not really too bad on his physical stats as well. After our first season in the Serie B, we had 100 points, 42 games, 31 victories, 7 draws, and only 4 losses, and a goal difference of 48. So you could already see this team was looking like a team that could definitely compete to stay in the Serie A in the next season already. But I obviously would be getting a lot of offers for these players in the upcoming season. And I also had a lot of deadwood in this team, which means that I had to get rid of a lot of players to make room for some wages, because as you can see right here, I have like, I don't know, 14, 16 players in a reserves team, which is just too much. But then I moved on in the next season, in my second season, to buy myself a new striker, Josef Alexander Martinez, and I had to pay 2 million plus Marco Sau. I know Marco Sau might be someone that a lot of you guys are into, but in career mode you need players who are growing, and Marco Sau was like 75 or 76 rated, and this guy had higher potential. So I looked forward to get him into my team. Even though he might not be the best finisher, he still had some room to grow. So I believed in him and put him into the striking position. Then I moved on to sell Astori to Porto for 13 million, which is a big money move for a team like mine, because we just came through the Serie B and I wasn't expecting to get that much money for my center back, who was already like 29 years old, but he was 80 rated, I think, so that money is a good amount. So Now I needed a replacement for Astori, and that one was definitely going to be Daniele Rugani, the biggest centre-back talent in FIFA 16 from the Serie B, I think. So I definitely wanted him in my team. He's 79 rated, and he would be playing with Gaston Silva in the centre-back position. But most importantly, I had a talent on the left-back position whose name was Muru, and he's one of the biggest left-back talents in Italy or in the Serie A and Serie B. So I decided to keep him in the team for as long as possible and let him grow. Riccardo Saponara was my next choice. I was in need of a proper center attacking midfielder, and I only paid 8 million for this guy, and he came into our club as being a 77 rated player, I think. Let's take a look at this. Yes, he was 77 rated, and his stats really looked nice, so I thought he would be one of those center attacking midfielders, scoring goals and also getting some assists. The main reason why I bought him was that I wanted to improve my attack, and now with Martinez and Saponara coming into the team, I really thought that we would be able to keep ourselves up in the Serie A and not get relegated again. After that season, we were in the 11th position with 38 games, 10 victories, 17 draws and 11 losses. 47 points for Cagliari, and not really the best goal difference, but still I was really happy that we made it into the mid-table of the Serie A after our first season in that league. Saponara and a lot of other players have now grown, and that is really important to be able to keep it going with the team growing, because when your team doesn't grow, you just get frustrated. You don't want to see players sticking to their same rating over and over again after every single season and not growing at all. Now I was looking for someone who can play in the right back position, but funnily enough, Mattiello was a left back who can also play in the right back position, so I decided to get him into my team. He's probably one of the biggest right backs or left back talents in the game from the Serie A, so I decided to get him in there. 74 rated though, not really grown a lot, but I still was happy with this decision. He's 6 foot tall, really nice physical stats and also good defending on him. After selling a lot of deadwood from the team and also going through the pre-season tournament and also getting a decent budget at the start of the season, I'm now able to get myself 2 proper good players into the squad who are rated above 80, and those are Felipe Anderson and Pereira. Those two were the ones that I thought would take us into the Europa League spots in this season. I wanted to get into those spots to get more money into the team in the 4th season. Right now we are in the 3rd season. Felipe Anderson was 81 rated, obviously can play left wing, right wing and center attacking midfielder. I decided to put him onto the left center attacking midfield position. Pereira also 81 rated, 4-star skiller, 4-star weak foot, and in my opinion one of the best center attacking midfielders in this game. Moving on, I decided to get myself another center midfielder because I thought I needed a good depth in the squad, because I felt like every time I did one of these Road to Glory career modes or Sprint to Glory career modes, when I had only 4 to 5 players in the reserves, every time my team was doing really bad. So I thought I needed a really good backup player for the center midfield position, and that was going to be Milinkovic Savic, and he could also straight away get into my first team and play in the cam position, but later on he would drop down to the bench and be a good backup for our players. Then I got lucky because I was looking for a goalkeeper, because my goalkeepers were 34 and 38 years old, and I found this guy. Chokis or Chokis, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but this guy seems to be a big talent from the free agents, and I got him into my team as he was 74 rated. Why do I never find these guys on my career modes, man? That would be amazing, because I love finding free agents who are really high rated and getting them into my squad for basically no money at all. Cagliari in their 3rd season in the 10th position with 53 points, so we only improved by 1 spot, but I was thinking that the reason for that was my backups. I really didn't have any backups for the positions in my team. Players like Rangel right here, 69 rated, or Barella, those are not good enough backups, so I decided to go for a lot of players in the upcoming season, which you will see in just a second. But most importantly, this guy that I bought from the free agents was now 75 rated, and he would get into our team in the future. I was looking for a new center back because Gaston Silva was not really growing that much. Wesley Hurt is from Lazio, and I used him in another private career mode of mine, and he grew like insane, so I thought he would do the same in this career mode. He was only 75 rated though, which really surprised me, so I'm kind of disappointed about that one. I thought he would be like 78 rated by now, but then I moved over to get myself another attacker to play in the left wing position now. It is Mbaye Niang. I would put him into the left wing position, put Felipe Anderson into the right center attacking midfielder position, and I was hoping to get some good performances out of this guy because Martinez was capturing the center forward or striker position. He's now 78 rated and he's growing just like I expected him to do so. Stefano Sturaro was my next target. I paid 10 million for this guy. He joined our team as a 79 rated center midfielder, so he had to take over from either Gnukuri or Donza. I decided to put him over Gnukuri into the squad, and as you can see, this guy is a total all-rounder. He can do anything on the pitch. He has high work rates, so his stamina will go down quite fast, but he has like decent stamina, so it isn't that much of a problem. In our 4th season though, if you could see it, we came in the 3rd spot, so I made the right transfers, and we have now finally qualified for European competition, but it's not the Europa League, it is actually the Champions League. And after that season, you can see right here, a lot of my players grew, and Rugani was the first one to go above 81, above 80 in the defense, so I was happy to see that, and I was also happy to see that all the players that I bought from the free agents were also growing. Now though, on to the first guy that I have on the thumbnail. It is Domenico Berardi. If you do a career mode in Italy, you have to get this guy because he's so good, and I decided to put him into the team in the right wing position, 82 rated, and Felipe Anderson would be getting back into the team, no worries. I just subbed him off because he was injured, I think. Yes, he's injured. So later on, I would put Yao Kouassi away and Berardi into the team. Yao Kouassi, by the way, was a free agent who I found in a striking position, really high rated already. And then I was looking to improve my center back position once again because I thought that both of the transfers I've made so far, Gaston Silva and Hurt, were not really satisfying. So I decided to get myself Murillo from Inter, 81 rated beast. So we now have a really solid core in our defense with Rugani and Murillo, both of them from the Serie A, one of them from Juventus and one of them from Inter. In our 5th season, we have beaten Juventus in the cup final 2-1, and we have come in the 5th spot of the league, which was not too bad. Yes, we didn't qualify for the Champions League once again, but I still think that that was a great season. Winning the cup and also coming in 5th place with 67 points, not too far away from the spots for the Champions League, but still, I was happy. And I was also really happy to see a lot of my players growing. Felipe Anderson, 85, Pereira, 84, Berardi, 83, Murillo now 83 rated as well. So everyone was growing, and that goalkeeper that I got from the free agents was now 80 rated, which really made me happy. But slowly but steady, Gnukuri was making his way back into the team. Donza was only 78 rated and Gnukuri was now 80 rated. I then moved on to look into the free agents once again, and then I found myself 3 amazing talents who had like really high potential, at least exciting prospects, I think. So I decided to get them into my squad for backups because I basically had no more reserves at this point, and that is a big mistake. If you sim through a season, you need reserves players, at least like 6 of them, because otherwise your team will not do well. But luckily, I got into the 2nd position in our 6th season now, I think, and it was 73 points for Cagliari, which was amazing. I wasn't expecting my team to once again make a big leap forward and get into the 2nd position, and even contend for the title at some point throughout the season, but then Napoli got away. But since this was our 6th season already, I really felt like, man, now I have to push for it. I have to buy the big players that I need in this team. And straight away at the start of the 7th season, I bought myself Paulo Dybala for 45 million, 86 rated striker, now 27 years old, and he would be the guy to get us to the top of the league. I certainly believed in him, and I was expecting him to score a lot of goals with those players behind him who were already really high rated. Pereira, Felipe Anderson and Berardi would supply him with a lot of assists, and Dybala with his finishing should be able to get us into at least the top 2 at the end of the season. I wasn't happy with my center midfielders and especially with the backups that I had in my team. So I decided to go for Felipe Anderson from Udinese. He was 81 rated when I bought him into my squad. Donza is now coming off and we have gotten Felipe Anderson into the squad. I think I made a straight swap with Sturaro because Sturaro wasn't good enough and he didn't really have the best stats at the end of the season. So I decided to go for another center midfielder, which was Felipe Anderson. But then I wanted even more because I saw that Paul Pogba was on a pre-contract. I mean, I could get him on a pre-contract and he accepted. So I was freaking out. Pogba joining Cagliari. Yes, come on. 89 rated, the highest rated player in my team. And I was expecting him to be in my squad at the start of the next season. Now, after buying Dybala in the 7th season, we have finally won the title right above Inter, 82 points for Cagliari. And take a look at this team. Dybala 87 rated, Anderson also 87, Berardi and Pereira on 85. Our midfield though wasn't really high rated. I mean, like high rated. I was expecting them to be like 84, 85 by now, but they weren't. And also the left back position was something I was really bothered with, but then I thought, no, why should I change it? I have gotten the title in this season, and even though I signed Pogba on pre-contract and pressed accept it, and he still shows up in my transfer list, not my transfer list, in the players I can sell, you can see him as a player that is in my squad. He's now playing for Manchester United, so that really upset me. I wasn't expecting that to happen. So I thought, for one final season, we are getting us the biggest Italian talent, and that is Marco Verratti. He is now 89 rated. I had to pay a shit ton of money for this guy, but since Pogba couldn't join my team, I had to get Verratti. I paid like 45 million or 50 million, and it got us the title again. Yes, it got us the title. 78 points. Not that much of a good season that we had last season, but in season 7 and 8, we have won the title. And seriously, I was really into this team because I played a couple of games after recording this. Guys, this team is so much fun to play with. I don't know why, but Pereira, Anderson, Berardi, and Dybala, I was scoring goals from everywhere. Seriously, I was scoring skill goals. I was running through defenders with really good dribbling, and no one was really getting through my core of the defense. Rugani and Murillo were just insane. No one was getting through them. And my center midfield, I was really happy with Verratti. He now was 90 rated, but the other players that played in the center midfield position so far, I was never really too excited about them. So if you want to get someone in the center midfield position, maybe try a couple of other players than those that I had. I mean, Gnukuri and Donza were good enough for like challenging for the Champions League spots, but I would definitely recommend you guys to try and buy players on pre-contract, because that is something that I haven't done so far until I realized it with Pogba. So try and get players like Pogba and Verratti on pre-contract as soon as you can, when their contracts run out in like 2019 or 2020. I really don't know, but it should be something around that time. So try and do that, because the center midfield position was the toughest decision for me, and also the left back and right back position. That is something where you don't really have that many options in the Serie A or in Italy. Obviously, I could have bought players like Florenzi, but Mattiello was 81 rated on the right hand side, so I thought, why should I buy Florenzi? But for the left back position, you could have Mattiello, and for the right back position, you could have a player like Florenzi. So if you have that money, go ahead and do it. But it took me a long time to get a team in, which really got the money into the club, because for a long time the tactic was to buy in young players, grow them and sell them on for more, or try to use them in swap deals. But overall, guys, I was really happy with this. I hope you were as well. Please smash that like button and let me know in the comments down below which league I should do next, and suggest some players as well. Take care, assistant coaches. Love you guys so much. Have a nice day and peace.